We have a massive amount of fear and anxiety in the markets right now. In this video, I do not want to scare you more, but I do want to share with you the reasons why this is happening so that we can be prepared for what could be coming down the road. Look, over the last few days, we've had near record drawdowns in the stock markets. This is a big deal, but let's talk about why it's happening and what we could possibly expect as we move through the coming hours, days, and weeks. The first thing we have to recognize is that we are in a period of massive change right now, and it's happening at a very fast pace. Look, right now, the Department of Government Efficiency is in the process of eliminating thousands of jobs. That is having a major negative impact on the economy. This is not a political statement, has nothing to do with politics. We're just stating the facts. This is all happening very early in the new presidential administration. It's been 8, 9, 10 weeks, and this has already had a major impact on things like employment in this country and will continue as we move into the coming months. The economy will feel the reverberations. But on top of that, also in these first few months, we get news of the massive tariffs being placed on almost every country throughout the world. This is unprecedented. And not only does it send massive reverberations within the world's largest economy, the United States of America, but this has major impact on the world economy as well. On top of that, we're facing a geopolitical situation in the world, wars and conflicts that aren't calming down, and in some instances, even getting worse. We have this trifecta of influencers that are impacting what is going on in the world and creating massive, massive amounts of fear. Now, this in a market environment where stocks were already in bubble territory. And I got some bad news for you. They still are, generally speaking, in bubble territory, despite the fact that in the last 2 days, we've seen $11 trillion of value erased from the stock markets, a record. Okay, 11 trillion. That's like 1 trillion is equal to a million times a million. That would be like 11 million millionaires losing all their money. Imagine like how many people is 11 million. That's like Chicago and St. Louis combined, right? And all of those people losing $1 million. On top of that, sorry, I promised I wasn't going to try to scare you, but I'm just telling you the facts here. On top of that, we're in a situation in the United States, the world's biggest economy, where we have a debt level that's through the roof, $36 trillion, a debt level, right, that most people who can work a calculator can see that we're in a debt spiral in this country. So that's the bad news. That's the reason why we find ourselves in this position. Some people will say that it was inevitable, right? You can only live beyond your means for so long. Whether you're an individual, a family, a company, a church, a country, no matter what, eventually the laws of mathematics apply. But what's going to happen next? There's a lot that could happen, right? We haven't heard anything from our current president, Donald Trump, in regards to his hardcore stance on these tariffs. I'm recording this around noon on Sunday, the 6th of April, 2025. We could get a statement from the White House that alludes to them softening or negotiating with some countries that could on Monday send the markets flying higher. We could hear from Jerome Powell, even though Jerome Powell just on Friday alluded to the fact that there were no immediate plans to adjust monetary policy based on the current situation in the world economy. Look, Jerome Powell changes on a dime, and we know from experience that what he says and what he does are often two different things. But in the big picture, the way this plays out is one of two ways, guys. Either we have more money printing, right, to deal with, paper over the rot that's going on in the U.S. economy right now. That's what they've done basically since 1999 and in earnest since 2008. Print, 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 print. Inflate away everything, right? Make everything okay. No consequences for anybody. Or the other option is, right, which is probably less palatable, but in real terms, pretty much about the same thing, that we get a big, bad recession. May I say, right, potentially even a depression? I don't know, right? But it will work out one of those two ways. I predict they'll go with money printing. It's the easier, softer way. It keeps the politicians in office. It makes everything seem okay, right? It's the short-term medicine that they paper over the problems. And in the end, right, at some point, the United States is going to have to face the reality that we need to balance our books. I digress. This was really about telling you why what's going on right now, why the reasons, why we're facing this situation. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Thank you for watching. Okay, thanks for being part of the basement. Don't forget, please like, share, subscribe, and make sure you come back. See me again down here in the basement. Thank you.